the science doesn't really change people's behaviors, as you've said. What more can we do? And then we realize that doctors are the key to it, and health practitioners. Because if we can convert one doctor, that doctor is going to convert tens of thousands of people as part of his career or her career. And so we said, let's try and educate the doctors, and that's what we started. So if I can start with a joke, I don't want the Brazilians to be more healthy so they play better soccer, football. You guys play football well enough now, so this is not for the football players. So having said that, I know Brazil has a huge problem with the sugar and trying to move away from lots of sugar and eating far too much sugar. So what have I learned in the 10 years that I've been doing this? What I've learned is that nutrition determines 85% of the chronic diseases. And it's that important because of the condition of insulin resistance. So I'm profoundly insulin resistant. And my dad died of the disease, and he had a terrible death. There is no worse death than an unmanaged, poorly managed diabetic. And my dad did everything that the best people in Cape Town could advise him to do, but they gave him the wrong advice. And I was not knowledgeable enough to be able to save him, and that sticks with me. And so part of what we're doing is to make sure that people have the knowledge. They don't have to die in the way that he died. So he passed his insulin resistance on to me, and I thought if I run lots of marathons and eat this healthy high carbohydrate diet, I will never develop diabetes. But I did develop diabetes. So I had to learn how to manage my diabetes, and that taught me that carbohydrates are absolutely toxic to my body, and it's just a whiff of carbohydrate and I'm in trouble. So I'm obviously the extreme example of the worst case of insulin resistance. And I understand that if you're severely insulin resistant, carbohydrates are just like poison. If, on the other hand, you're highly carbohydrate tolerant, then you mustn't listen to me because I won't help you at all. But the reality is most of us sit towards the end of insulin resistance, and we will develop one of the many complications of insulin resistance if we eat high carbohydrate diet. Now, the reason you aren't being told that is because the industry requires people to be sick. The pharmaceutical industry requires people to be sick to make a profit. If they ever produce drugs that actually cure diabetes, it's the end of the industry. So they can't do that, but we can do it for you. So my message is that most of us at some stage in our life become so insulin resistant that we can no longer continue to eat high carbohydrate diets. And the old model that you can now take a medication to treat the condition doesn't work because it's not an absence of a pharmacological drug that's causing you diabetes. What's causing it is you putting too much carbohydrate into your body, and your body can't tolerate that carbohydrate. So what I would suggest to all the Brazilian doctors and practitioners who are going on these courses, we're going to give you the information to help not only yourself, but all your patients. And I was at breakfast this morning with one of the key drivers of the Nutrition Network, Dr. Neville Wellington, and he said his life is fantastic. He said, because I go to work and I cure patients, and that's what doctoring is all about. And that's what happens when you go on the Nutrition Network. Instead of just handing out pills, you cure patients of their conditions. And that's what's so exciting about this information. So I wish all the Brazilians all great success and hope that you will make your nation even healthier and save millions of lives by understanding that the key role that nutrition plays in our long-term health. Thank you very much for your enthusiasm and for driving us in this route. So we're very excited to have a Portuguese translation of the Nutrition Network. That's fabulous. And for Portuguese speakers all over the world, we really hope that they will benefit hugely from this. So thank you for your enthusiasm and your desire to change the world. And that's what we're going to do. Changing the world one lecture, one meal at a time. Cheers.